What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check updates, the next two upcoming packages, the physical infrastructure package part 1, and the next stimulus package part 2, which I will have new information on what they are working on regarding those next two packages in this video, as well as we discuss on this channel what is going on with the United States and what is going on in Washington, D.C. Some crazy news right now. If you think that the pandemic is over and the economic recovery is on full blaze, well, you might want to reassess those thoughts in your head. It's being reported right now 41 states and the District of Columbia have documented an increase in the average daily cases over the past 2 weeks of new daily COVID-19 cases. Case counts spike in almost every single state. Yes, most areas of the country are seeing a new surge in COVID-19 cases as variants of the virus serve as a painful reminder that the pandemic is not over despite eased restrictions. And 9 states in particular, 7 states in the South, have seen cases double in the last 2 weeks, according to data from the New York Times. In Los Angeles County, officials have recorded more than 1,000 new cases for 3 consecutive days in a row this week for the first time since March. Arkansas also reported more than 1,000 new cases for a third straight day also in Friday. And the economic recovery is really kind of faltering along as well. In June, the unemployment rate actually went up from 5.8 to 5.9% in June, despite the addition of 850,000 new jobs. Because despite adding 850,000 new jobs, we have about 400,000 or so jobs every single week that are being lost. We have around 400,000 people every single week that are filing for unemployment for the first time. So almost 2 million people every single week filing for unemployment for the first time. Unemployment in the month of June actually went up overall. Yeah. So despite there being millions of jobs available, we're actually losing jobs at the same time. And there's a lot of the jobs, there's millions of jobs available. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to report things not from one agenda or the other. I like to just kind of report things to you as they are. There are millions of jobs available, but a lot of the jobs that are available are part-time jobs and low-paying jobs. And, well, a lot of people don't want to really go to a job that is going to pay them a lot less than the job they are qualified for. If you have a college degree and you were making $50,000 and you lost your job from the pandemic, by the way, 37% of all small businesses have gone bankrupt from the pandemic. They're completely gone. 37% of all small businesses are gone. Like literally kaput, just poof, they're gone. And then there's probably going to be more than that by the time they reassess this. That was as of the last figure, 37%. So if you got a college degree and you were making like $50,000, just as a nice round number, it's very unlikely that you're going to go take a job at McDonald's for $7.25 an hour, which is the current minimum wage at 40% of the United States. Speaking of McDonald's, there's literally people, or I should say literally companies, large companies, that physically cannot hire people anywhere close to minimum wage. People will not work for that. They just won't work for that. Check this out. What McDonald's minimum wage raise, their own minimum wage raise, basically across the corporation of McDonald's, says about the fast food franchise future. McDonald's is among the fast food franchise, let me just increase this here, to raise wages in a tight labor market and plans to reach an average of $15 an hour by 2024 at all company-owned restaurants. Now, this is an average. This doesn't mean minimum. So that means they could be hiring some people at $12 an hour, $13 an hour, but also paying some other people like managers maybe 17 or 18 or even $20 an hour. Okay, and then also cost of living areas like high areas like California, New York might have a lot higher areas than say some other areas like Iowa or I don't know, states that have maybe a lower cost of area living. Competition for workers is intense, and fast food franchises like McDonald's and Chipotle are competing with retailers like Amazon, Walmart, and Target, and which have all raised their minimum wage to around $15 an hour because they're all competing and can't hire workers for anywhere near minimum wage. And so, even though Congress failed to raise the minimum wage federally for the whole country to $15 an hour in the third stimulus check package, that got 42 votes in the Senate. They would have needed 50 votes to pass it. There are states and cities that are raising their minimum wage right now. Some of these include Nevada, New York, Oregon, Berkeley, California, Chicago, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, Portland, Oregon, St. Paul, Minnesota, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., and really the list goes on and on. In addition to this, large restaurant chains like McDonald's, Chipotle, and even companies like Amazon are actually implementing hiring bonuses of $500 to $1,000 in some instances to hire people because they physically cannot hire people for these really, really low wages. It's just not attractive enough for people to go back to work. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think people are going to be able to or going to want to go to work for $7.25 an hour? I do think there's going to be a minimum wage raise federally passed by Congress sometime this year after they pass these next two packages. I think we're going to see a compromise bill between the Republicans and the Democrats somewhere around 10, 11, or $12 an hour. Also, in the next 2 days, there is the next stimulus payments known as the child tax credits are going to be hitting people's bank accounts on July 15th. In fact, some people have already said that they're already pending in their accounts. These are a total of $3,000 for children ages 6 through 17 and $3,600 for children under the age of 6. These are going to be $250 per month per child for children ages 6 through 17 and $300 per month per child for children under the age of 6. There's about 36 million families that are going to be getting these new payments that were passed from the third stimulus check package. They're only passed for 1 year. One of the items on the next stimulus package, which is item number 5 here, is for them to possibly extend these child tax credit payments, $250 to $300 per month, to continue them on until year 2025 or even permanently. We have had some Democrats that say this would change the landscape for childhood poverty and would be one of the most influential things that the Democrats could do if they could extend this for 4 or 5 more years or even permanently. Anybody with children would probably tell you that this is one of the most dramatic things that they can pass in this next package. If you're a senior, you'd probably be saying items number 2, 3, or 4 would be one of the most dramatic things you can do. Monthly stimulus checks, Social Security raises that could go on forever, or Medicare expansion to include hearing, dental, vision, hearing aids completely for free added into Medicare are all very real possibilities that could be included in this next package or even the next package or two after this. In the next 2 months, the Democrats get a whole nother set of reconciliation cards on October 1st, and we'll be passing more reconciliation packages or stimulus packages after this. They're going to be able to pass more packages until the next election in the midterm 2022 elections, which is when the Senate and the House of Representatives will be up for grabs. But there's several different things on up for the block here that are up for negotiations to be in this next package that are really game-changing items like free college, monthly payments called the child tax credits, monthly stimulus checks, Social Security raises, Medicare benefits that would go forever, that would be game-changing items that would really change people's lives that could be included in this next package. By the way, the IRS is also sending out checks right now for the $10,200 unemployment tax refund break. It makes the first $10,200 of unemployment income tax free. The second round of these are going out right now. I have had literally hundreds of people say that they have gotten them. They're pending in their account. They've gotten their direct deposit. Checks are out in the mail right now. In fact, if you got this here within the last few days, please comment down below in the comment section. If you got your child tax credits, please comment them down below as well. The majority of the child tax credits for direct deposit will be hitting on July 15th, which is 2 days away. But if you're waiting on the unemployment tax break as well, hopefully you're in the second round of checks that are going out right now. Senator Lindsey Graham and other senators give us the latest update on what is going on with the fourth stimulus check package, known as the American Families Plan, and the physical infrastructure package. Senator Lindsey Graham says that the bipartisan infrastructure package, the pay-fors, which is basically how they're going to pay for this package, the physical infrastructure package, are insufficient. Here's what they have to say. Senator Lindsey Graham, a Republican from South Carolina, the top Republican on the Senate Budget Committee, says that his colleagues need to come up with additional pay-fors, basically how they're going to pay for the physical infrastructure package, the cost of the 8-year, $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure package. He says, quote, "We don't have enough pay-fors. It's not so much not supporting the ones we got, it's just not enough." He said Monday, leaving the Capitol after a late afternoon vote. He said members of the bipartisan group will meet today to further discuss the emerging legislation. Lindsey Graham is a member of 21 senators who have endorsed the bipartisan framework, including 11 Republicans and 9 Democrats, and 1 independent who caucuses with the Democrats. I think that might be, I don't know if that's Bernie Sanders or not. Senator Jerry Moran, a Republican from Kansas, another member of the bipartisan group, also concerns about the deal on Monday. He pointed specifically to promise Democrat leaders have made to liberal members of their party that the bipartisan bill will be tied to a much larger reconciliation package, aka the American Families Plan, aka the next stimulus package. Anytime you hear reconciliation package, think the next stimulus package, the American Families Plan. So basically, the Republicans are worried that the physical infrastructure package will be tied to the next stimulus package, which we kind of know that is the case, which could cost between 3.5 and $4 trillion. That's kind of on the high end. Remember, Senator Bernie Sanders said that he doesn't want to vote yes on anything less than $3 trillion. That's kind of where he says, I'm going to vote no on anything less than $3 trillion. Then we also have Senator Joe Manchin, who's a moderate Democrat, saying, I don't really want to vote yes on anything over $2 trillion. And this is kind of where we're going to have these negotiations. And this is kind of where every single senator kind of gets powerful. They get to like become Superman in their own right, because every Democratic senator has to vote yes on this package in this reconciliation process, right? This is the process where they're going to pass this bill exactly how they passed the third stimulus check package, which every Democrat voted yes in the Senate, all 50 of them. And then the tiebreaker vote, 50 Democrats voted yes, 50 Republicans voted no. And then the tiebreaker vote goes to the Vice President of the United States, who just happens to be a Democrat, Vice President Kamala Harris. And then they passed the third stimulus check package, which had the $1,400 checks for adults, $1,400 checks for children, $1,400 checks for adult dependents and college students, as well as the child tax credits, $3,000 for children ages 6 through 17, $3,600 for children under the age of 6. I also should note, if you've been watching my show, you know this, but college students ages 18 through 24 do qualify for a child tax credit of $500. I had my wife look into this. I don't have the documentation right in front of me, but it's $500 It's a one-time payment that has the word annually in there. So it's a one-time payment, but it's annually if they extend it. So remember, it's only passed for 1 year right now. If they extend it, and that's kind of where the word annually comes in, but remember they can change that with the next package. So um, right now it's $500 for 1 year. Could go on if they extend this. So if you have a college student who's 18 through 24 and they're in college full time, um, you can get a $500 one-time payment for an 18 to 24-year-old. I think you're going to get that on your tax return. I don't know the details. It's very hard to find out these details. I literally have to dig through a whole bunch of things to find this stuff because, yeah, the IRS, right? But yeah, I think you're going to get it on your tax return for 2021 when you file your tax return. Okay. If anybody gets it as a payment here on July 15th, please by all means let us know. But I think you're going to get it on your tax return. Okay. Also, there's also a little fine rule. I see a lot of people commenting if your child turns 18 this year, then they're basically considered an 18-year-old, and you're not going to get the monthly payments because they're considered an 18-year-old because they turn 18 this year. You can get that $500 payment, but like if they turn 18 in December, then they're considered an 18-year-old because they turn 18 this year. I'm pretty sure that's the rule. So yeah, so if they're 17 this year and they turn 18 next year, then you'll get the monthly payments. Okay. So yeah, just to clarify all that up there for you. By the way, just to clarify this, like we're talking about the $10,200 checks that are going out and the child tax credits that are going out. I understand if you don't get one of these checks, I'm not like picking sides or anything like this. Some people like it's almost like they get mad at me. It's just a hot topic that are going out right now because the checks are literally going out right now. Like when the California checks are going out or the New Jersey checks are going out because different states are sending out stimulus checks. By the way, I'll keep you updated when different states send out different checks. I mean, if they send out checks to just seniors, like if there's a Social Security raise that gets passed in one of these next packages, don't worry, by all means, I'll be talking about that every single episode because that'll be the hot topic. Whatever they happen to pass, I don't get to pick and choose what they pass. By all means, I have a large voice here. I mean, we've had over 100 million views on this channel, so we do kind of have a large voice here. I mean, that's more views than the actual Super Bowl had last year. The Super Bowl had 98 million views. We've had 115 million views here on this channel. So we do kind of have a large voice here. So that's why I kind of want to keep talking about these things. I say, hey, we need Social Security raises. We need Medicare. I think the Medicare expansion is a very, very huge thing. I don't think a lot of people even realize how big of a change that is because it goes forever. It's like hearing dental vision and hearing aid coverage forever. That's like massive, massive thing, right? It's akin to the thing of kind of like Social Security and unemployment. It's kind of like it's almost kind of like akin to the starting Medicare, right? It's almost like Medicare 2.0. It's like a massive, massive change for 75% of seniors that don't have this coverage. So that's why I'm kind of like hyping it up because I think it's going to be a little bit of a battle to change to get it in there. It costs a lot of money. It's like $600 billion, and they've been fighting to do this. In fact, Republicans were fighting to do this for many, many years, and it's been back and forth. And there's a lot of lobbyists and stuff that don't want to do this. Anyways, I could go off on that, right? I think it's a major, major change that's going to help millions and millions of seniors. There's a lot of things in this package that are on the block for this package, or maybe for the next package or two, that are game changer. They're benefits that could go on forever or for many, many years. There's very, very important stuff here in this next package. I think we have some very game-changing things here. So, yeah, I mean, luckily, I have a platform here that I could talk to millions of people. I know for a fact that a lot of very important people and people in Congress have seen this show. I've gotten some emails. I've had some very important people reach out to me saying, that our voices are being heard. And I know that our voices are being heard because the second stimulus check package originally didn't even have a second stimulus check in there. And they were forced to take the money away from states and cities and give it to you guys for a second stimulus check, literally 6 days before they were going to pass the bill. Like literally, we had congressmen saying, you know what? There's so many people saying we got to change this bill. We got to take the money, $160 billion. We have to take it away and give it to people for a stimulus check instead of giving it to states and cities. Like, we're not going to vote for it. Like, we literally can't. So literally, our voices are making a difference. So yeah, hopefully we see some of these massive, massive changes in this next package. So let me get back to this. A lot is still unknown to me, and in particular, I'm still troubled by the suggestion that both bills are tied together. I'm for the infrastructure bill. I don't think we ought to spend $6 trillion with the two bills combined. This is coming from Republican Senator Jerry Moran, who is a Republican. And then they go on to say if the outcome is with 51 votes for the Democrats get everything they wanted in the first place, then I don't understand what the purpose of the agreement is for the physical infrastructure package with the $1.2 trillion if the Democrats are just going to put everything they want in the second package that could be 3 or 4 or 5 trillion dollars. So yeah, that's kind of why we're going to have a lot of fireworks here for the for when they pass these packages and how they pass them and what goes into these packages. And I mean, the physical infrastructure package is very important for our country. The stimulus package is more important for the people. But don't get me wrong. I mean, this show is as much about the future of our country as it is much about stimulus and our people. I mean, the future of our country is just as important as about a stimulus check is, in my opinion. I mean, I know a stimulus check is as important. A lot of people are watching here for stimulus, but in a way, the future of our country, if you ask people what is one of the most important things ever throughout the history of time, the future of our country and the future of our futures would be one of the top things you could ever put there. So yeah, and these two bills are kind of at the heart of the future of our country and what's going to happen. So we're going to have some fireworks here happening soon as these Republicans and Democrats have a showdown to what's going to happen with these packages, how much they're going to be, what's going to be in these packages, and they're pretty much getting ready to decide here. In fact, I think they might be getting close to a vote here on the physical infrastructure package and deciding what's going to be in this next stimulus package. So I will keep you up to date. Make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here on our channel every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get free notifications when we go live with new videos. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. This bottom video is about different stimulus checks that are going out in July, August, and September. And this video is about a new executive order by President Biden that is a very important change. So click on one of those videos next if you haven't watched them, and I will see you in the next video.